All right, we are in it now, and we are going to be talking about some very interesting stuff. Ruth, I'm going to let you introduce your dear friend here, Dawn.
Oh, I would love to. Okay, so I've known Dawn for a little while, and I've worked with her, and I've seen her work with others. So I know what she's about to share works. I've seen it work on people. But Dawn has many unique gifts, and what I love about her is she's got the ability to not only connect with people who are going through traumatic incidences, ailments of different stages, but also emotional things that are happening, and also business structure in corporate. So being able to live in all the worlds. And what's really cool is Dawn is bringing forth, she's from Colorado, but she's bringing forth today the fun of how to connect with crystals and how that can bring and activate health and life and beauty back into your world. So
Yeah.
I know what she's about to say and share with us works. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say I'm really excited about it too. I know that when we first visited that I learned so much from you. So thank you for being here. And we're going to talk about the importance and what kind of like the Crystal 101, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So go ahead and share with us what some 101 stuff we get to know.
Yeah, I think I'd really just like to start with making people aware that this is even help with physical ailments, with emotional ailments. You know, we all walk and we see all the pretty crystals and we don't know why we're attracted to them or what they would do. And I just want to kind of share some knowledge that these are our crystal allies. Like these were given to us just like plant medicine and all the other things of the earth for a purpose and to heal. And there's a ton of there's a ton of science being done now, and I really mesh science and the woo. And I'm sure 10 years from now we'll even understand more why or how the crystals work. At its core level, single crystal has a vibration, and those crystals have the same vibration in the same genre. An amethyst out of a mine on one side of the world and an amethyst side of the world, they have the same vibration as an amethyst. And that vibration healing properties for our body. It will connect with a piece of our body that has that same vibe, that vibe back into homeostasis. And so it's back to that. And I've heard this so many times, and everything is energy, right? And the crystals have their own vibration and energy, and how they can work with the body to bring that body to a physical level and an emotional level. There's crystals can be used for different purposes. You can use crystals that we back into homeostasis on a physical, getting that DNA back into. And they work with our higher self. They work in this bring peace and calm. And I think, your community needs both to see how can we get our body, and then how can we bring peace and joy and all of that. So.
And you had mentioned even crystals in water, and that was really fascinating to me because and it was just mentioned by Dr. Sandra also in regards to the salt and kind of like the the medallion and everything like this in water, and that makes a lot of sense to me because water is such an important piece that however, I would never, ever in a million years, never, ever in the past have thought, oh, yeah, just throw in a crystal into your water and that could actually change the deal.
The molecular structure of the water. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And it brings the healing crystals into that water. And it's really crazy. There's millions of money, millions of dollars out there after this right now. You can go, I'm sure, or maybe you haven't, but they literally make water bottles that have crystals built into them. They're ridiculously
No.
expensive.
I did
You
not
can do
know
the
that.
same. You need your water in your fridge and dropping some crystals in it. Let it sit overnight, and now you done what this company is doing for like a ridiculous sum of money per bottle.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really
infusing the
effective
water.
way. Yeah, it's exactly infusing the water. It's the same thing that Dr. Sandra talked about earlier. We're just modalities or different tools to infuse that water and create a water that's more body and more healing. So whatever you're infusing it with, you're infused by vibration of the stones that you soak, right?
Right, like the
So
crystal
it's
quartz you're
really
talking about.
totally. And there's different different things, different crystals will speak to different parts of your body or have different healing practices. And I'm intuitive with how I use crystals. So I just listen to say, put me here in the body, or who's calling to me, how I communicate with them. And everybody has the ability to tap into that at some level. And so are really just starting out and saying, hey, I just kind of want to play with this. What are you drawn to? What's that crystal that you're like, oh, that's just so pretty? There's a reason that you're drawn to that. Something is jiving with that energy and that vibration of that stone, right? Sometimes people warm, or they'll feel something different, or they're just really attracted to that one. Use that one, regardless or what anybody says that should be used for. If you're highly attracted or really drawn to a particular crystal, there's a reason for that. Or body that says we're jiving, like I like you, I need more of you. And so it's really great, right? And the water is water is one of many.
It's kind of almost like when your body is craving a certain vegetable or something, huh? Like follow that pull, because there's something that your cells and your body is asking for, whether you can comprehend it yet or not, right? And what I love is we're a state of homeostasis is like a balance with Mother Earth, and like, everything around us, and we're living here and we're trying to be part of everything involved with the earth, and the crystals come directly from her in a sense. And so it makes sense why our bodies would be attracted to certain things that the crystals is bringing to us.
Right. From the very core of crystals are created in the very core of Mother Earth, and then she gradually gives them up to us as we need them. And so it's a very earth-based modality. And I would also say, like, I know we have a really time, so I want to give people as much information to kind of start and play with, right? Really, really started. I don't think not everybody feels like I did, but then there was this point in my process or in my journey that I was like, oh, wow, these are really a tool that I'm going now. I need to know everything. I've got to know all the crystals, and I can't be an effective healer if I don't have all the data. And that's overwhelming. There's a lot of data out there on crystals. There's a lot of different crystals. And it was actually the crystals that got me to chill out and told me like all the information, right? You just need to listen.
Girl.
Yeah, well, just listen to you. And then throughout the process, I got to learn more. So another really great place in crystals will very much coordinate with our chakras. Most people are familiar with what our different chakra levels, a color that's associated with. And so if you're also like, okay, well, I really don't know where to start, and I'm overwhelmed with picking this one that likes me, pick one that's in a chakra that you want to work on healing, or a particular place where your disease happens to be in your body.
So the chakras are like the energy spaces in your body, in each section of your body, that helps your body balance through energy and emotion and homeostasis in DNA as well, right? And so then we've got those different places, and that's just kind of like a chakra system. Okay.
Totally.
Go ahead. Colors.
Yeah. And we have different, we have higher level chakras and lower level chakras, but fit with them. And if you don't know what they are, Google it. You can find it in like 2 seconds. They're the colors of the rainbow. If you're white, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo. And pick a crystal that you're like, okay, so like I want to, or I have something that's hurting in my throat. Pick a blue crystal. That's our throat chakra. It's kind of good. The stones aren't limited to the chakras, but there will be a correlation if you have a cut to the color of your chakra. So.
So I'm noticing that my body was desiring green tonight. And so like the green blue, right? In that area, which is interesting because we're talking about love and talking.
Right? Yeah.
So I was following my body.
Yeah. And everything that we're talking about in all of these sessions tonight. And again, something we've heard multiple people say, like it all comes down to love, right? Love is that core energy behind any effective healing. Yeah. And so we're all drawn to the green stones of the heart because that's what we're talking about tonight. Like, how do we get just pure essence of love? That's where all the healing comes from. So yeah. Surprise.
I love it,
sister, that you picked the green stones.
Yeah. So I have a question from your experience, because this is what I love is how you experience this stuff, because this is kind of your unique, how to help people discover more, right? But when you're working with somebody and they are, both you and their body are communicating which crystals to use, what is something that you notice, like say you find that match in that perfect place for the body? What's something that goes on in you to confirm that? And what's something that like your clients have mentioned they feel or notice or that, like, what does it feel like when that match comes?
Good question.
Yeah, it's a great question. So you can see my table back here that has, and I have them all over in my sanctuary when I use. And when I'm listening, and just listening says, place me on her knee, place me on her heart, right? And any moments that I'm involved in a healing with what kind of stone is or I'll pick up a stone, like I'll just literally, like a stone will say, pick me, and I'll pick it up and they'll say, this is where I need to go. I work really intuitively and I'm not overly concerned about what the properties of the crystals are, because they tell themselves are communicating all together, and I just listen. And the experience from people who have been on my table is that they actually can feel the change, the calmness. They can feel the vibration, right? Like I've literally had people say that they could feel that vibration. I use crystals. I literally will be it's a process. If you're on my healing table and something is really stuck or needs to be, where I'm using crystals that are very specifically designed for etheric surgery. People can feel that like entrance into their space and the pulling out of the movement of the energy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's kind of like if you think about like our energy pulling and pushing, it's like when we get around somebody that we're like our bodies and everything's like, maybe not. You feel that kind of like push, right? And then when it isn't an appropriate attraction, it's that, oh yeah, that feels yummy. Yeah. So I would love to share. Exactly. I had, so one of my personal experiences with that, and I've had a bunch and witnessed a lot of them, was I was actually in a totally different place in a motel room, and I had a migraine that was taking me out, completely taking me out. And I actually have had a tumor inside my brain that I've had removed as well. And this is part of why I'm so keen on what we're doing here, Tamara, right? And so I've been through a lot of recovery things, but I had a migraine that's taken me out. And she, in a sense, put my body, if I'm right, like you might correct me, but you put me almost like energetic, the ethereal place that she's talking about on her thing. And then she took the crystals and started placing them as if I was there. So we're working remotely, so she can work remotely as well. And within, it was like 45 minutes, I could actually like open my eyes again and feel like me again. And yeah, I did feel like certain things were being pulled from me and certain things were being breathed in, right? And I just kept breathing through it. And so it's really, really interesting what happens. And I've personally experienced it with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wild.
When you think about the energy and we're all connected, there's no reason that this can't be done, right? I literally just lay people on my table and I energetically and place the crystals as if their body was there, because we're connected in a way is there, right? It may not physically be there. It's no less effective. I think sometimes people get hung up on there's no way this can work if you're still not there until they experience it. So we're all energy. It can work in crazy ways, and understand all the how it works. I just know it does. I've seen miraculous things just using crystals or relation of energy and being able to play with that.
Well, I will say this, that I have learned that the power of our brain, the power of our body, the power of it all is so incredible that it goes back to almost the mysteries. And there's some things that I just get to a point now where I'm like, okay, I may not completely understand, but hey, if it's working, I figure there's a bigger plan here, and I'm going to just like go with it, because it's that simple faith of a child. It's that keep it simple kind of situation. And it's that, how is it going to hurt?
Right.
How is it going to hurt? And if it's going to help, oh my golly. And so I know that we are a little pressed for time, and I appreciate you being so accommodating with that. But you had said that you wanted to have some time towards the end of our visit right now, and to talk about something. So I'll leave that.
Yeah. I love that. Love what you're doing with this organization. I think that Western medicine kicking cancer's butt, and it doesn't mean that we can't change how people experience it, right? And that's doing is you're doing something about how we experience it, and how can we help? What can we bring in with our bodies to help Western medicine so we get that much closer to just kicking cancer? So I really want to do something to help bring up, maybe get people a little bit more excited about contributing to the cause. And it's really interesting. This wasn't my original plan. My original plan was like, I'm going to offer money and write down where it was, or I don't know where I wrote it down, which just means I get to do something new, right?
Yes.
I do things it's going to be threes, and that's a really magical number for me. So I want to free sessions, and sessions with me start at about 150 from there, depending on what we decide needs to be done in that session. So I would what people need or want. So let's do the next $100.
Okay.
Person that signs up to be a buddy.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
And the highest donation for the whole event. Those 3 people get 3 sessions.
3 donations.
Yeah. Okay, Erin,
and it works.
That all down. And yes, and thank you very much. You know, thank you. I I I already know that it does. There's just something inside of me that intuitively is just like, okay. And it's like when we were talking before, it's like, okay, yeah, crystals, I'm good with that. Haven't understood it, but I'm good with it because there's just something attractive to it. And when there is, it's like you're saying, you know, we're being attracted to it, and there's a reason why. Our bodies are saying, okay, yeah, we you know, they're talking our language. There's that something going on, and I love the fact that you're talking adjunctive, because you're allowing for those that are going through what they're going through to say, okay, you don't have to make a choice here. I'm going to work with you. And I love that. So thank you. It's very generous, very generous in every which way.
So Tamara, what color are you seeing in a crystal right now?
Right now, quite honestly, I think it's because I keep thinking about that crystal one. I'm just seeing this crystally color, you know, crystal, like a white or crystally color that then has different colors coming off of it. So kind of like,
the master quartz, the master healer that can do all things, usually when light refracts, and it has all the colors in it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what you're doing, Tamara. You are the master of all of this right now. You're holding all of this love, all this magic. So wow, isn't that neat? That's so neat.
Wow.
Yes,
that was cool.
I know. So good.
It's very interesting because we're about to have one of my international board member, she's over our international expansion, and she's coming on next. And we actually have one of our international ambassadors right now that's just right now checking in. Keep it up, guys. How amazing is that?
Keep up the good work. Yes, so good.
Thank you.
I love this.
This is what it's all about, and I'm really totally loving it, and I want to say thank you both. And Ruth, you're coming back, right? You're coming back in an hour?
Oh yeah, I get to play more with you.
Yay.
And all of these amazing people, and I'm excited. So I love you, Dawn.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
Love you so much.
Yes. And we're gonna have you back, and we're gonna play some more with all of these colors and crystals and stuff. Okay?
Yes.
We'll dive in deeper on another day.
I love it. Okay. Here we go.
Thank you.
Okay.
You guys. Bye, ladies.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Mwah.